Learn and grow your thinking. Social Studies. Primary School Living Examination 8. We should follow the following steps for great results. Roman figure number 1. Read the questioner, problem. Roman figure number 2. Find the solutions to the questioner, problem. Roman figure number 3. Circle the letter of the correct answer for all the questions. 1. Which type of marriage takes place at the district commissioner's office? A. Civil marriage. B. Religious marriage. C. Customary marriage. D. Monogamous marriage. The answer is A. Civil marriage. Reason being, a civil marriage is a legal union between two people that is registered and conducted by a government official at a place like the district commissioner's office or a magistrate's office. It is recognized by the law, and no religious or traditional customs are required. 2. Which individual is correctly matched with their responsibility in a traditional family setup? Individual. Responsibility. A. Mother. Managing family resources. B. Father. Providing security for the family. C. Grandfather. Leading marriage negotiations. D. Grandmother. Providing basic needs for the family. The answer is C. Grandfather. Leading marriage negotiations. Reason being, in traditional family structures, the grandfather or elder male often leads important negotiations like arranging marriages. He is respected as the family head and negotiates with the bride's family, representing the family's interests. The picture below shows a lifestyle of a certain type of family. Use it to answer question 3. 3. What is the advantage of the type of family shown in the picture? A. It allows for parents to attend to each child's needs. B. It makes it easier for the family to perform home chores. C. It makes it easier for the family to take care of their children. D. It allows for parents and children to spend more time together. The answer is B. It makes it easier for the family to perform home chores. Reason being, the picture shows an extended family lifestyle where many family members, including children and elders, live together. This arrangement shares responsibilities, especially in home chores, such as cooking, cleaning, herding animals, and farming, making life easier for everyone. 4. Which of the following would reduce the divorce rate in the motherlands of Africa, Botswana? A. Couples planning to get married at a young age. B. Couples not involving parents in settling their conflicts. C. Couples not informing their parents about their wish to get married. D. Couples attending marriage counseling before and during marriage. The answer is D. Couples attending marriage counseling before and during marriage. Reason being, marriage counseling helps couples understand each other better, solve problems, improve communication, and set realistic expectations. Attending counseling before and during marriage gives couples tools to handle challenges, which reduces the chances of divorce. 5. What is the importance of the traditional Katla? A. It is the only place where Sawana culture can be observed. B. It is a place where corporal punishment is administered. C. It is a central meeting place for ward members. D. It is a place of work for the chief. The answer is C. It is a central meeting place for ward members. Reason being, the Katla is a traditional public meeting place in Sawana culture where community members gather to discuss issues, resolve disputes, and receive announcements. It plays a key role in maintaining community participation and order. 6. What is the difference between a traditional ward and a council ward? A. A traditional ward is formed by government while a council ward is formed by the Kosi. B. A traditional ward is led by a Kasana while a council ward is led by a councillor. C. A traditional ward does not have a Katla while a council ward has a Katla. D. A traditional ward is big while a council ward is small. The answer is B. A traditional ward is led by a Kasana while a council ward is led by a councillor. Reason being, a traditional ward is led by a Kasana in brackets sub-chief representing customary leadership, while a council ward is part of modern local government and is led by an elected councillor. 7. Which of the following shows changes in the traditional duty of the chief? A. The chief not having responsibility to welcome visitors to his village. B. The chief presiding over minor criminal offenses only. C. The chief not chairing Katla meetings. D. The chief officiating in civil marriages. The answer is B. The chief presiding over minor criminal offenses only. Reason being, traditionally, chiefs handled all types of disputes, but now their powers are limited mostly to minor civil and criminal matters, with major cases handled by the state courts, reflecting a change in their role. Use the information below to answer question 8. Neo comes from a country where human rights of citizens are not respected or protected. Anyone who says something against the government could be arrested. 8. Which form of government is described above? A. Monarchy. B. Theocracy. C. Democracy. D. Dictatorship. The answer is D. Dictatorship. Reason being, in a dictatorship, the government often restricts freedom of expression, and citizens can be punished for speaking against the authorities. This matches the scenario described. 9. Which statement is true about civil rights as denoted by the motherlands of Africa, Botswana's constitution? A. Civil rights include all human rights. B. Civil rights describe human rights. C. Civil rights cover non-citizens. D. Civil rights are for citizens. The answer is D. Civil rights are for citizens. Reason being, civil rights protect the rights and freedoms of citizens under the Constitution, such as voting, freedom of speech, and legal protection. These rights do not necessarily extend to non-citizens. 10. How does the law protect people who are assaulted by others? A. By making it lawful for people to fight. B. By making it unlawful for people to fight. C. By encouraging people to report when abused. D. By encouraging people to solve their problems when abused. The answer is B. By making it unlawful for people to fight. Reason being, the law criminalizes assault and fighting to protect individuals. It ensures offenders are punished and victims can seek justice through legal systems. Read the statement below and use it to answer question 11. Mr. Detonki comes home drunk every day. Every time when he gets home, he beats up his children and shouts at his wife. 11. Which human right of children is violated by Mr. Detonki? A. The right to life. B. The right to health. C. The right to privacy of home. D. The right to protection from abuse. The answer is D. The right to protection from abuse. Reason being, children have the right to be protected from violence, neglect, and abuse. Mr. Detonki is violating this by beating and shouting at his children, which is a form of domestic abuse. 12. Which of the following duties is performed by local government? A. Management of waste. B. Management of hospitals. C. Provision of primary education. D. Provision of secondary education. The answer is A. Management of waste. Reason being, local governments are responsible for services within communities, including waste management, roads, water, and sanitation. Education and hospitals are managed by central government. 13. Which of the following is not a way through which Dikosi become members of the House of Chiefs? A. By being a paramount chief. B. Nomination of chiefs by Marife. C. Selection of chiefs by other chiefs. D. Appointment of chiefs by the president. The answer is D. Appointment of chiefs by the president. Reason being, Dikosi in brackets chiefs enter the House of Chiefs by hereditary right in brackets paramount chiefs, selection by other chiefs, or nomination by Marife in brackets tribes not by presidential appointment. 14. Which of the following is the role of the House of Chiefs? A. Deciding on the budget for the people. B. Advising government on traditional customs. C. Making laws for the people that they represent. D. Advising government on how to relate with other countries. The answer is B. Advising government on traditional customs. Reason being, the House of Chiefs in brackets Entlo ya Dikosi plays an advisory role to the government, especially on matters related to culture, customs, and traditions, but does not make laws or budgets. 15. What leads to civil unrest in most African lands? A. Nationality differences. B. Economic differences. C. Political differences. D. Social differences. The answer is C. Political differences. Reason being, civil unrest is often triggered by political issues such as disputed elections, corruption, or lack of political freedoms, not merely nationality, economic, or social factors. 16. How have countries in the world maintained peace? A. By encouraging military action. B. By encouraging fair and just rule. C. By promoting ethnicity differences. D. By promoting intolerance of people's differences. The answer is B. By encouraging fair and just rule. Reason being, peace is promoted when countries ensure justice, equality, and democratic governance, reducing the chances of conflict or oppression. 17. How can soil be conserved? A. By plowing across the slope. B. By applying a lot of fertilizer every year. C. By planting the same crop in one area every year. D. By keeping a large number of animals in one area. The answer is A. By plowing across the slope. Reason being, plowing across the slope in brackets contour plowing prevents soil erosion by reducing runoff. The other options in brackets B, C, D can actually damage soil quality over time. Use the map of Africa below to answer questions 18 to 20. 18. Which physical feature is found in the area marked Y? A. Namib Desert. B. Table Mountain. C. Kalahari Desert. D. Drakensberg Mountains. The answer is D. Drakensberg Mountains. Reason being, the area marked Y is in South Africa, where the Drakensberg Mountains are located. These are the highest mountains in southern Africa. 19. What is the name of the climatic zone labeled X? A. Tropical savanna. B. Mediterranean. C. Equatorial. D. Desert. The answer is C. Equatorial. Reason being, Zone X lies around the equator, covering parts of Central Africa in brackets e.g., Congo Basin, which is known for its equatorial climate, hot, humid, and rainy all year round. 20. What is the name of the line marked P? A. Equator. B. Tropic of Cancer. C. Tropic of Capricorn. D. Greenwich Meridian. The answer is A. Equator. Reason being, line P cuts across the center of Africa horizontally. This is the equator, which is the 0 degrees line of latitude dividing the Earth into northern and southern hemispheres. 21. Which ethnic group benefits from Dakar Kuru Trust? A. Ba Kalagati. B. Badawana. C. Baherero. D. Basarwa. The answer is D. Basarwa. Reason being, the Dakar Kuru Trust supports the Basarwa in brackets San people, one of the indigenous ethnic groups in Botswana, known for their traditional hunter-gatherer lifestyle. 22. Why is trade important to the motherlands of Africa, Botswana? A. It encourages foreigners to come and work in the motherlands of Africa, Botswana. B. It encourages Botswana to travel to other countries. C. It creates wealth for foreigners living in the motherlands of Africa, Botswana. D. It creates employment for Botswana. The answer is D. It creates employment for Botswana. Trade enables Botswana to export goods and import needed items, which helps boost the economy and create jobs for its citizens, reducing poverty and improving livelihoods. 23. How does the government of the motherlands of Africa, Botswana help local business owners to grow their businesses? A. By teaching business studies subjects in schools. B. By encouraging competition between local and foreign businesses. C. By providing business owners with money to use in their businesses. D. By encouraging foreign business owners to give money to local businesses. The answer is C. By providing business owners with money to use in their businesses. Reason being, the government supports local entrepreneurs through grants, loans, and funding schemes like CEDA, LE, etc., to help start or grow businesses, which boosts economic development. Use the information below to answer question 24. The time difference between each longitude in brackets degrees is 4 minutes. 24. What would be the time at 2 degrees east longitude if it is 1200 hours at longitude 0 degrees? A. 1216 hours. B. 1212 hours. C. 1204 hours. D. 1208 hours. The answer is D. 1208 hours. Reason being, each 1 degree of longitude equals 4 minutes. So at 2 degrees east, the time is 2 multiplied by 4 equals 8 minutes ahead of 0 degrees. 1200 hours plus 8 minutes equals 1208 hours. 25. Which of the following is a result of nepotism? A. Decreased productivity amongst workers. B. Promotion of unity amongst workers. C. Discrimination of lazy workers. D. Motivation of workers. The answer is A. Decreased productivity amongst workers. Reason being, nepotism is favoritism based on family or personal relationships rather than merit. It lowers morale, creates unfairness, and reduces productivity among workers who feel overlooked. Use the picture below to answer question 26. 26. Which economic activity is shown in the picture? A. Agriculture. B. Forestry. C. Mining. D. Tourism. The answer is A. Agriculture. Reason being, the picture shows people working in a field, likely harvesting or planting crops. This is clearly agriculture, which involves cultivating the land and growing crops. Read the statement below and use it to answer questions 27 and 28. Mrs. Como grows beans and sunflower on her farm in order to sell. Her main challenge is getting buyers outside the country who are likely to offer her better prices for her produce. 27. Where can Mrs. Como sell her farm produce? A. Citizen Entrepreneurship Development Agency. B. The Motherlands of Africa, Botswana Agricultural Marketing Board. C. The Motherlands of Africa, Botswana Development Corporation. D. The Motherlands of Africa, Botswana Meat Commission. The answer is B. Botswana Agricultural Marketing Board. Reason being, the Botswana Agricultural Marketing Board in brackets BAMB helps farmers market and sell their crops, both locally and internationally, making it the most suitable choice. 28. What form of farming is practiced by Mrs. Como? A. Subsistence pastoral farming. B. Commercial pastoral farming. C. Subsistence arable farming. D. Commercial arable farming. The answer is D. Commercial arable farming. Reason being, Mrs. Como grows beans and sunflower to sell, not just for personal use. This makes it commercial farming. Since she grows crops, it's arable farming. Study the picture below and use it to answer question 29. 29. What effect does the human activity shown have on the environment? A. Deforestation. B. Overstocking. C. Overgrazing. D. Pollution. The answer is C. Overgrazing. Reason being, the image shows many cattle grazing in an open area. When too many animals feed on the same land, it leads to overgrazing, which damages vegetation and leads to soil erosion. 30. What can be the negative effect of timber production businesses on the environment? A. Soil erosion. B. Deforestation. C. Climate change. D. Land degradation. The answer is B. Deforestation. Reason being, timber production involves cutting down trees. If done excessively, it results in deforestation, the removal of forests, which affects biodiversity and climate. 30. What can be the negative effect of timber production businesses on the environment? A. Soil erosion. B. Deforestation. C. Climate change. D. Land degradation. The answer is B. Deforestation. Reason being, timber production involves cutting down trees. If done excessively, it results in deforestation, the removal of forests, which affects biodiversity and climate. 31. Which statement is not true about population census in the motherlands of Africa, Botswana? A. It shows how people are spread in the country. B. It provides information needed for planning. C. It is carried out during national elections. D. It is carried out every 10 years. The answer is C. It is carried out during national elections. Reason being, population census is not linked to elections. It is conducted every 10 years to collect population data for planning and development, not voting purposes. 32. Which of the following is a result of xenophobia? A. Widespread civil unrest. B. Rapid empowerment of citizens. C. A strong sense of belonging to a nation. D. A strange fear and distrust of foreigners. The answer is D. A strange fear and distrust of foreigners. Reason being, xenophobia is the fear or hatred of foreigners, which can lead to discrimination, violence, and social tension. Study the map of the motherlands of Africa, Botswana below and use it to answer question 33. 33. Which environmental zone is marked A? A. Deciduous forest. B. Eastern margin. C. Swamps. D. Desert. The answer is B. Eastern margin. Reason being, the shaded area marked A on the eastern side of Botswana represents the eastern margin zone. This region has better soils, more rainfall, and is more suitable for settlement and agriculture compared to the rest of the country. Use the information below to answer question 34. During Kotla meetings, the chief of Kong village advised his subjects to welcome people from other villages and countries in their village. 34. What conclusion can be made from the chief's message? A. He likes foreigners. B. He is a democratic leader. C. He encourages peace and tolerance. D. He wants his village to have many people. The answer is C. He encourages peace and tolerance. Reason being, the chief is advising his people to welcome others, which reflects values of peace, unity, and tolerance, key qualities for building inclusive communities. 35. What is multi-party democracy? A. A form of governance where there are many political parties. B. A form of governance where there is only one political party. C. A system of government where elections are conducted regularly. D. A parliamentary system of government with cabinet as the executive. The answer is A. A form of governance where there are many political parties. Reason being, multi-party democracy allows multiple political parties to exist and compete in free and fair elections, giving citizens more choices and encouraging political participation. 36. Which of the following is not a physical zone found in the motherlands of Africa, Botswana? A. Desert. B. Eastern margin. C. Equatorial rainforest. D. Swamps and the Pans. The answer is C. Equatorial rainforest. Reason being, Botswana does not have an equatorial rainforest. It mainly has the Kalahari Desert. Eastern margin, swamps, and Pans is its physical zone. 37. Which physical feature is not found in the motherlands of Africa? A. Mount Kilimanjaro. B. Mount Everest. C. The Nile River. D. Orange River. The answer is B. Mount Everest. Reason being, Mount Everest is located in Asia between Nepal and China, not the motherlands of Africa. The other features are all found in the motherlands of Africa. Study the picture below and use it to answer question 38. 38. Which climatic region is shown in the picture? A. The tundra. B. The steppe. C. The equatorial. D. Tropical continental. The answer is B. The steppe. Reason being, the image shows a dry, grassland area with sparse vegetation, typical of steppe climate. This region gets low rainfall and supports short grasses, making it suitable for grazing. 39. What was the effect of British rule on Botswana? A. They joined the British Army. B. They adopted European type of courts. C. They were forced to work for the British. D. They decided to use English as their first language. The answer is B. They adopted European type of courts. Reason being, under British colonial rule, Botswana were introduced to European-style legal and administrative systems, including courts. 40. Which organization deals with the protection of international natural resources? A. Kalahari Conservation Society. B. Worldwide Fund for Nature. C. World Food Organization. D. Kama Rhino Sanctuary. The answer is B. Worldwide Fund for Nature. Reason being, the WWF (Worldwide Fund for Nature) is a global organization focused on protecting the environment and conserving natural resources. Use the map of southern Africa below to answer questions 41 to 43. 41. What is the location of the motherlands of Africa, Botswana using lines of latitudes in A. 18 degrees south, 27 degrees south and 20 degrees east, 29 degrees east. B. 18 degrees south, 20 degrees south and 27 degrees east, 29 degrees east. C. 20 degrees east, 29 degrees east and 18 degrees south, 27 degrees south. D. 27 degrees east, 29 degrees east and 18 degrees south, 20 degrees south. The answer is A. 18 degrees south, 27 degrees east and 20 degrees east, 29 degrees east. Reason being, Botswana lies approximately between 18 degrees south and 27 degrees south latitude, and 20 degrees east and 29 degrees east longitude. 42. Which country is labeled X on the map? A. The motherlands of Africa, Zimbabwe. B. The motherlands of Africa, Zambia. C. The motherlands of Africa, Angola. D. The motherlands of Africa, Malawi. The answer is B. The motherlands of Africa, Zambia. Reason being, on the map, country X is located to the north of Botswana and Namibia. This position corresponds with Zambia, confirming it is the correct answer. 43. What is the direction of Madagascar from the motherlands of Africa, Lesotho? A. Southwest. B. Northwest. C. Northeast. D. Southeast. The answer is D. Southeast. Reason being, Madagascar lies to the southeast of Lesotho, across the Indian Ocean, making southeast the correct direction. 44. How were Botswana affected by the Mfecane Wars? A. They lost their power to the Boers. B. They became more politically organized. C. They repossessed their land from the Boers. D. They bought more guns and forced men to join the army. The answer is B. They became more politically organized. Reason being, during the Mfecane Wars, many communities, including Botswana, experienced displacement and conflict, which led them to form stronger, more organized political systems for protection and governance. 45. What is the difference between local and central government? A. Local government is headed by the chief while central government is headed by the president. B. Local government is made up of House of Chiefs while central government is made up of the cabinet. C. Local government reports to tribal administration while central government reports to the district commissioner. D. Local government is responsible for the administration of part of the country while central government is responsible for the administration of the whole country. The answer is D. Local government is responsible for the administration of part of the country while central government is responsible for the administration of the whole country. Reason being, the central government manages national affairs, while the local government handles regional or district level administration. Use the colonial administrative structure of Bechuanaland shown below to answer question 46. British Colonial Office. High Commissioner. X. Assistant Resident Commissioner. Assistant Resident Commissioner. 46. Which office is represented by X in the structure of Bechuanaland Protectorate? A. Resident Commissioner. B. District Commissioner. C. Resident Magistrate. D. Botswana Chiefs. The answer is B. District Commissioner. Reason being, the District Commissioner typically reports to the High Commissioner and oversees Assistant Resident Commissioners. Use the information below to answer question 47. In country 0, all political parties are expected to give a list of their candidates in the order they prefer them to represent the party in parliament. One of the parties wins 5% of the total votes and it is allocated 5% of the seats in parliament. 47. What conclusion can be made about this electoral system? A. It allows for representation of smaller parties in parliament. B. It allows for the electorates to vote candidates instead of parties. C. It shows that a candidate with the largest number of votes goes to parliament. D. It shows that the minimum percentage of seats in parliament is 5% for all the parties. The answer is A. It allows for representation of smaller parties in parliament. Reason being, since a party that wins only 5% of votes gets 5% of seats, the system supports smaller parties' representation. 48. Which of the following countries are members of the Southern African Development Community? A. The Motherlands of Africa, Lesotho, and the Motherlands of Africa, Libya. B. The Motherlands of Africa, Algeria, and the Motherlands of Africa, Angola. C. The Motherlands of Africa, Namibia, and the Motherlands of Africa, Ethiopia. D. The Motherlands of Africa, Malawi, and the Motherlands of Africa, Swaziland. The answer is D. Malawi and Swaziland. Reason being, Malawi and Swaziland in brackets now Eswatini, are members of SADC, others listed are not. Study the picture below and use it to answer question 49. 49. Which stage of processing copper nickel is shown in the picture? A. Grinding. B. Smelting. C. Crushing. D. Concentrating. The answer is B. Smelting. Reason being, the smoke in industrial chimneys indicate smelting, where ore is melted to extract metal. 50. Which source of energy pollutes the environment? A. Hydroelectric power. B. Windmill power. C. Thermal power. D. Solar power. The answer is C. Thermal power. Reason being, thermal power plants, often coal-based, emit pollutants, others are cleaner energy sources. 51. Which of the following is mostly imported by African countries? A. Processed goods. B. Human labor. C. Game trophy. D. Electricity. 52. Which of the following statements correctly compares democracy with dictatorship? Democracy. Dictatorship. A. Leaders are elected and the government is led by the president. Leaders are elected and the government is led by the queen or king. B. The government is led by religious leaders with absolute power over the people. Leaders are elected and the government is led by the president. C. Leaders are elected and the government is led by the president. The government is led by a leader with absolute power over the people. D. The government is led by a queen or king who chooses political leaders. Leaders are elected by the queen or king. Correct. The answer is C. Democracy. Leaders are elected and the government is led by the president. Dictatorship. The government is led by a leader with absolute power. Reason being, democracy involves elections and leadership by the people in brackets, e.g., a president, while in a dictatorship, one leader holds all the power. Study the picture below and use it to answer question 53. 53. How is the activity shown in the picture important to Botswana? A. It shows how initiates are trained by ethnic groups. B. It promotes competition within ethnic groups. C. It communicates peace and prosperity. D. It promotes unity. The answer is D. It promotes unity. Reason being, the image shows a cultural or traditional dance. Such activities bring people together, preserve heritage, and promote national unity. 54. How can the movement of people from villages to towns be reduced? A. By speeding up developments in villages. B. By increasing the cost of living in towns. C. By allowing squatter camps in villages. D. By providing social amenities in towns. The answer is A. By speeding up developments in villages. Reason being, people leave villages for towns in search of better services and jobs. Developing rural areas reduces this migration by offering similar opportunities locally. Study the picture below to answer question 55. 55. How can the vegetation shown in the picture influence the lifestyle of people living in the area? A. They could engage in tourism. B. They could practice lumbering. C. They could engage in pastoral farming. D. They could practice commercial arable farming. The answer is C. They could engage in pastoral farming. Reason being, the vegetation in the image is mostly woodland or savanna, which supports grazing animals like cattle, goats, or sheep, ideal for pastoral farming. Study. Mining company. Geographic location. Minerals in brackets S. Annual production estimate. Debswana. Jwaneng. X. 12000000 carats. Debswana. Oripa. Diamond. 13 million crats. BCL. Y. Copper ore. Nickel ore. Cobalt. 3 million tons. 56. State the mineral represented by X. A. Coal. B. Copper. C. Diamond. D. Soda ash. The answer is D. Diamond. Reason being, from the table, Debswana in Jwaneng produces 12 million carats of X, and we know Jwaneng is a diamond mine. 57. What is the name of the place represented by Y? A. Oripa. B. Jwaneng. C. Moripul. D. Salib Fikwe. The answer is D. Salib Fikwe. Reason being, BCL produces copper, nickel, cobalt and is located in Salib Fikwe. Study the diagram below which shows the stages of processing diamonds and use it to answer question 58. Crushing, concentrating, drying, separating, hand sorting, grading and valuation, cutting and polishing. 58. Which statement is true about what happens at concentrating stage? A. The ore is crushed into small pieces. B. The concentrate is taken to a machine where it is dried. C. The dried concentrate is passed through an X-ray machine. D. The crushed ore is mixed with water and chemicals in drums. The answer is D. The crushed ore is mixed with water and chemicals in drums. Reason being, concentrating involves separating valuable minerals by mixing crushed ore with water and chemicals. Use the information below to answer question 59. Ms. Boykutso-Kamanyan wanted to start a business. She went to one of the institutions which assisted her with developing a business plan. They also gave her some advice on how to run a business. 59. Which scheme is reflected in the above information? A. Local Enterprise Agency. B. Local Procurement Program. C. The Motherlands of Africa, Botswana Bureau of Standards. D. The Motherlands of Africa, Botswana Development Corporation. The answer is A. Local Enterprise Agency. Reason being, the Local Enterprise Agency in brackets LEAT supports small business startups with training, planning, and advice. Read the information below and use it to answer question 60. An advert was published requesting companies to show interest in supplying construction material. 75 companies applied to supply the material. They indicated that out of the 25 items required for supply, only 6 were produced locally. 60. The scenario above shows that local companies are faced with a problem of A. Lack of capital. B. Lack of market. C. Competition from other countries. D. Limited raw materials within the country. The answer is D. Limited raw materials within the country. Reason being, only 6 out of 25 items could be produced locally, showing raw material shortages.